The HK CC9 was released with a boatload of mixed results, with some folks even comparing it to a Taurus in appearance. But we can't just take the internet's word for it, right? We have to find out. Is it worth the $700 MSRP, or is it a pile of hot garbage? I'm going to break it down for you guys in 5 key categories and give you everything you need to know on the HK CC9 in video that's 10 minutes or less. First, the basics. This gun is chambered in 9mm, has a 3.32-inch barrel, is a touch under 1 inch wide, and comes with one 10-round mag and one 12-round mag. The gun also has ambi controls, interchangeable backstrips, and an optic cut in RMSC pattern, and then it has a pick rail under the nose. 25 points are on the line. Here we go. Our first category is build quality, and as per usual with HK, this is not a poorly built gun. Everything fits together really well, and the only reliability quote-unquote issue we had was with staccato ammo, and that has proven itself to be junk in several other guns, so I'm not going to blame the gun on that. We're going to give it a tap and see if it'll go into battery. There, went into battery. Now, this is no lubrication straight out of the box, so you know, I'm not super mad about that. We'll give it a little pass on that. I was high on that 5th one. It actually comes with excess sights installed from the factory, and that's a nice touch to really bump up the overall quality of the gun. 5 out of 5 for quality. Next up, ergonomics. As with most of these small guns, the flush fit mag is stupid, and my adult male hands require the extendo base pad. It's not a heavy gun at just over 18 ounces, and it does fit my hand pretty well. However, the grip texture that's on the gun did not work well enough for me and Ben.
And like, what's a twist in my hand? Because there's like not really any.
Like, it's got texture, but it's not quite aggressive enough?
Yeah.
Maybe too fine of a texture?
Yeah, doesn't really like hold.
Okay. So Ben earlier was saying that it's kind of slippery, and I can see that. There's nothing, like there's a little bit of texture there, but you really got to squeeze to get your fingers to sink into that, especially if you got meat paws like this. It's not quite as aggressive as I would like it. I'll say that. Yeah, and there's texture here. Like, it doesn't, like there's nothing to dig into, and you almost have to like push into it to get it. I don't know. It's not quite aggressive enough. And I mean, this is one of those problems when you try to make a gun ultra slim, you start removing the ability to use the controls effectively. We agreed that the gun almost felt kind of slippery on that cold winter day, you know, dry hands, whatever. It just didn't have a lot of texture. There is a small textured spot on the side of the frame that would be like where you put your thumb, but that's doing all for traction. I think the way to fix it is to give it a stipple job. That would be great. 3.5 out of 5 for ergonomics. For features, it's sort of a mixed bag. The pick rail is present on the gun, but it's so small, none of the lights that I own would fit. It's a bit frustrating, but I guess that comes with the territory of new guns. You gotta go buy a holster, and I guess now you gotta get some kind of light adapter or a tiny little light. I don't know. The ambi controls aren't my favorite either. The slide release has like this really tiny lip on the top, which is actually nice that you can use it, but it could be larger for actual traction, you know, actually getting on there. And the mag release should be a little bit larger, I think. There's like a little ledge on the top of the slide catch release. That's actually pretty good. The mag catch, though, is unfortunately not big enough for me. I don't get enough of a push to get that mag to come out. I guess what I'm really saying is they focus so much on making this gun tiny and slim, even bragging about it being under an inch, but it's only like a C hair under that mark. 0.99 instead of, come on, it's an inch. With all that focus, they sort of forgot that it should be something you can train with and shoot regularly, and I just don't see that with this gun. 3 out of 5 for features. For practical accuracy, aka how accurate we can be with the gun, it was about what you might expect. It's kind of just okay. We ended up putting 2 different groups of 5 into the same area, and the results were sort of middle of the road. All right, there's Ben's group with the HK CC9. That little guy, a little bit of a flyer. He was stacking them in there pretty good. And my second shot, okay, that's not too bad right there. That was me, clearly. Like, that's Ben's fault. He's more consistent than me. But that's not horrible. So this is Ben's second go. So we figured people would probably complain. So we put another 5 rounds onto the same target. This is Ben's target. There's my fist. He shot pretty good with that gun. I had another 4 out of 5 Dennis up there, and maybe whatever that is, I don't know, that little guy, wouldn't worry about that little guy. But generally speaking, it wasn't terrible. Even then, that's my fist. There you go, guys.
3 out of 5 for accuracy. And then the one that brings it all home, the value section. Is it worth $700? No. Like I said when this launched, that price is high, especially when you compare it to everything else out there. And this would be way better if it were, I don't know, like a sub $500 gun. But such is not the case. They lose a point for not having 3 mags. That sucks. It's 2025. Stop it with that crap. And they lose a point for that high price. 3 out of 5 for value. And that gives it a total score of 17.5 out of 25, which puts it between the PSA AK and the Hellion on the big list, and between the Shadow Systems and Jacob Gray on the handgun list. Tell me down in the comments what you guys want to see us review next, and don't forget to get subscribed to see those videos.